If you're here, this is the part where I test things. I go and I check to see whether it's actually working. So you'll have to be patient just for a second, okay? All right? Does it sound like you can be patient?
See Alice. Ask for it by name.
Aha! It seems to work. It seems to work. It seems to be work. Okay, so this is the part where now I run. Okay, now this is the part where I actually I'm going to do this for a second. So I'm going to go transition, and then I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to do this. One of these times I have to do this in a slightly different way. I have to automate this. I know. I should be automating this all the time, but I haven't. Okay, so welcome to Cooking with Linux without a net. Without a net means that I've got some things that I want to do and I want to play with, but I sort of do them off the top of my head, as in I know what I'm going to do more or less. But I'm going to do it live, which means that if there's a chance that it's going to go wrong, it will actually go wrong, okay? Because this is just, done live. And before I get going, you'll notice at the beginning there it said Linux Journal. So I want to go right off the bat, and I'm going to go way over here, and I'm going to say thank you to Linux Journal. And in fact, I'm going to get rid of my smiling face here, and I'm going to go straight over to the transition. What the heck? Let's do this first of all. First of all, today's wine, because we got to do today's wine. Today's wine is, I know it's a big bottle, but actually I just finished this one, and I wanted to. I finished an earlier bottle, so I wanted to show you what this one was. It's a Gato Negro, which is a Chilean red Cabernet Sauvignon, and cheers. And let's do this, shall we? All right. So I'm going to go right now over to transition, and I'm going to minimize this, and then I'm going to get rid of my face here. And I'm going to go over to my Min browser for a second, and I'm going to say thank you to Linux Journal for supporting Cooking with Linux without a net. For those of you out there who don't know what Linux Journal is, how could you possibly not know? Hey, Damon I! Good to see you, dude. Thanks for joining me. And subscribe to Linux Journal. You can also become a patron over on Patreon here. And if you become a patron, I know that one of the levels will get you a subscription as well. So you can either just plain old subscribe, or you can become a patron of Linux Journal. So I'm going to have a sip of my wine here. And we shall get started. One of the people that was on recently asked me, oh yes, I accept the policies. One of the people that was on recently asked me an interesting question, which was, how do I run, because we did Windows subsystem for Linux a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago or something like that. And then we also did try to set up a graphical desktop, which was a little bit weird, which we did sort of last year as well. So I wanted to do a couple of things. I wanted to jump out and right off the bat do something interesting. So I created a folder here called DOS. Okay, it's a /home/m/gagne/DOS. So that's where I created the folder, okay? And there's a little program that I installed on here, which, by the way, I had to go looking for on here. Where is it? I know, you're seeing all sorts of things here. Guys, got all sorts of things open, man. Dropbox site. Dropbox. Oh, not Dropbox. What am I saying? Dosbox. There we go. Dosbox. Let's go to dosbox.com. Does that work? Is that right? That can't be right. That can't be right. Oh, that's not right. That's not right. That's not right at all. All right, so DOS box download. There it is. That's FreeDOS. Let's go download SDL. There we go. DOSBox. So DOSBox is one of the ways that you can download this stuff. There are different versions for different distributions, and I wanted to just sort of give you an idea that you can actually run, as crazy as it sounds, a version of DOS. It's not obviously Microsoft DOS, MS-DOS, but it is DOS that you can actually run in the system here. So let's do this. DOSBox opens up a box, and in fact I can do something like this. I can go Alt-Enter, and that gives me a full screen version, but let's not do that right now. And if I go dir, you'll see that there's some basic stuff that exists on here to actually be able to run DOS in this thing. And unfortunately, I can't seem to do a proper full screen on this. I was playing with this before I started, by the way. I thought there must be a way. Control Z, BG. I'm gonna go in the background, and I'm gonna go with the Dosbox configuration file. See, I actually did a output overlay, full resolution 1024 by 768, and the darn thing is not giving me a full a full screen resolution, which is kind of annoying, but there it is. It's not there at the moment. I said 1024 by 768 for a full resolution. Full use double buffering in full screen. That doesn't really help me at all because it doesn't actually give me a full-size window. And it also doesn't start in full screen. So let's do something else here while we're at it. :Q. What if I go DOSBox-H? Oh. That's not helpful. Man, DOSBox. Are there any DOSBox version that reset mapper? DOSBox-full screen. Let me see. Okay, so we could start it with full screen. And let me see, -scaler, force scaler, tracy, blah, 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 conf, machine, socket, C command, edit conf, print conf, erase conf. Is it actually even reading my configuration file? Because let's go back over here and go exit, and then I'm going to go DOSBox-full screen. No, it doesn't even work. It doesn't work. What's that? Let's try that again. Man, DOSBox. Oh, it's -full screen. It's not --. Okay, all right. It's just -full screen. So let's do that. There we go. So it actually starts in full screen. It actually starts properly in full screen. Hey, Stuart! How are you, dude? Good to have you aboard. By the way, I'm drinking Gato Negro Cabernet Sauvignon if you want to go and get your bottle, to be part of what's happening here. But that's actually not working. So let me just, I'm actually not, it's opening it up full screen, but it's not scaling to the right screen or the right screen size, which is kind of annoying. Let's go back one more time here and go, let me see, full screen, full scaler, machine type, socket, blah, blah, blah. Secure mode, use scaler. What's the scaler? Full screen, that actually works, but we're not getting, scaler. Use the graphical scaler provide by scaler. Check out the configuration file. I did that. So let's go to the configuration file, shall we? Because it's actually not reading the. Let's go scaler, and let me see. Possible values: no, normal 2x, low resolution modes, blah blah blah. Aspect scaler normal 2x, Let's find out if that actually does anything, shall we? -scaler equals normal 2x. It doesn't change anything. We're still full screen. Doesn't matter. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we have this folder called DOS. But if I go dir, you actually don't see anything, okay? You don't see anything at the moment. I'm going to go Alt-Enter to go back to the not full screen version. And I'm going to go, despite the fact that I can't stretch this, I'm going to go Mount C /m_gagne/DOS, and then if I go C:, there you go. There's my DOS directory. There's my C folder, which has nothing in it at the moment. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over to and open a new tab, and I'm going to go, and I'm already in DOS, and I downloaded some stuff from this site here. I'm going to take you over to a couple of interesting Abandonware sites, okay? These are Abandonware sites. One of them is this one here, which is if you go to Abandonia.com, Abandonia.com. Jedit DOSBox. I did that, Stuart. Control F10. We'll find that out in a minute. I'll try that out in a minute, Stuart. Thank you. Okay, so if you go to Abandonia.com, you're going to find that there are all sorts of interesting games that are available here. You can go directly, and then you can sort by the types of games. Excuse me. I love it. The visit site anyway. I'm okay with that. It's okay. I know. I understand what's going on here. So these are sites that have all sorts of different games. And I'm actually going to close this. I'm not interested in downloading that. And just for the heck of it, I'm doing this in a DOS box anyway, so I don't care. I did this. Unzip. And I'm going to go downloads, and MDW, full, dir, Mad Dog Williams. And we're going to see whether we can actually execute a game directly in there. I'm going to try Control F10. Okay, Stuart? Let me see. Full resolution equals 13. Full screen true. Double equals true. All right, Stuart. Stuart, we're gonna do it your way. We're gonna do it your way. All right. Stuart says that I should do this, so we're gonna do it his way. All right. Control C. VI. Ah, the joys of doing this live. DOSBox. Blah blah. And let's go. Okay. See, I already did full resolution, so I have full resolution equals 1024 by 768. I'm going to do his 13 just for the fun of it here. Excuse me. R13. What did you want me to do? You want me to do 1366 by 768, which I've already got. He also wants window resolution, so let's do that. And I'm going to go window resolution. Let's find out if this works. Window resolution and full screen equals true, and full double equals true. Stuart, let's find out, shall we? All right, window resolution, full resolution, 1368, window resolution. This looks good. All right. Yes, now you're on the hook. You are on the hook, dude. Okay, DOSBox. No! It still doesn't work. All right, let's try one more thing, shall we? Because maybe it isn't reading the configuration file properly. Because it doesn't seem to be reading the configuration file at all, to be perfectly honest. So DOSBox, DOSBox. And then we're going to take a look at a different way to do this, because I just want to, let me see, config file. There we go, -conf config file. Okay, so DOSBox -conf tilde.dosbox. No, it doesn't work. It doesn't seem to matter what we do. It doesn't actually work properly. It doesn't matter. Let's go mount C space /home / and we're going to see whether we can actually run a game properly on here, okay? /home / mgagne, mgagne, and of course, you know, I don't want to spend the whole time doing this one thing here, but you know, there we go. So if I go C : and I go dir, there it is. So I'm going to go cd mad dog 1 dir, okay, and there is a, let me see, there's an mdw.exe file. So press the spacebar. Shall we try it? Shall we see whether this works? Let's see whether this works. Shall we do an Alt F10? An Alt Enter. Let's do an Alt Enter, and we can press the spacebar. Select difficulty level 1, easy. Change options, no. 1 moment, please. Oh, no. Interesting. Presents The Adventures of Mad Dog Williams in... Is this your first time playing the game? Yes. Welcome, adventurer, to the world of Mad Dog Williams. Don't you love this old music? Many years ago in the lands known as Duridan, there was a kind and gracious king named whoever. Blah, blah. There we go. Okay, it works. Let me see, Alt Enter. So that works. So we can actually run games directly inside DOSBox. Okay, I'm gonna do a Control C here, and I'm gonna try an alternative version of this. And for this, we're gonna go and take a look at something called FreeDOS. FreeDOS works somewhat differently than this because it's actually distributed as an ISO file. It's not just a program that you run under this thing. It's distributed as an ISO file. So we're gonna go Virtual Machine Manager, and I'm gonna create a new machine here, and I'm gonna go forward. I'm going to use an ISO image. I'm going to say browse. I'm going to take a look at my ISOs here. And I have lots of different things here, don't I? There we go. FreeDOS. Choose volume. I don't have a volume yet. So let's go forward. 64 meg of RAM. 1 CPU. Let's do this. And how much space shall we give it? Let's give it like a whole gig of space. Hey, let's give it 2 gig. Let's go nuts. 2 gig of space. FreeDOS. Finish. All right. Creating our virtual machine. There we go. Install to hard disk. Let's install the hard disk. And here we are. Now, oh, there we go. See, that's much better. We can do a FreeDOS install. Continue with the installation. Sure. Partition drive C. Sure. Let's do that. Do you want to use large disk support? Sure, why not? Let me see. Enter choice. Create primary DOS partition. Do you want to make the partition active? Yes, I do. Escape. Let me see. Set our active partition. We already did the set a create DOS partition. We already did that, did we not? We already did that. All right. Let's go escape. Escape. You must restart your system for the changes to take effect. Any drives you've created must be formatted after you restart. All right, let's do this. Escape. Yeah, sure, why not? And disk handler. All right. Viewer is disconnected. Booting from a hard disk. Well, apparently that does not work. We actually don't want to boot from the hard disk, do we? We want to boot from the DVD. So let me actually modify that. I'm going to shut it down. So I'm going to say shut down, and we're going to do a force off. 8-bit graphics, rude. Yes, I know. Yes, I do want to force it off. All right, so let's modify this thing, shall we? Let's modify it. Let's go into, let me see. I'm going to go, oh, sorry, open. And I'm going to modify the settings on this virtual machine. I'm going to say boot options because I actually do want it to boot off the CD-ROM. So I'm going to say boot off the CD-ROM, apply. We should still have the CD-ROM loaded on here. I'm going to say apply. There we go. And now let's boot. Let's boot, and we should be booting off the CD-ROM again. Oh, sorry. Let's go and take a look. No bootable devices. No bootable devices. All right, let's stop. Let's stop this. Force off. That's fine. Yes, force it off. And let's go back into settings again, and we're going to take a look at IDE CD-ROM 1. Oh, there we go. It's not even connected. It has disconnected the CD-ROM. So let's go back, and we will go, there we go, FreeDOS. No, that's the QCOW. We want the ISOs. FreeDOS CD ISO. I'm going to say choose volume. I'm going to say OK. And now let's boot. Let's boot. We should actually have a drive that we can format now. Oh, there we go. We have to go take a look at the window here. All right, installed hard disk. Sure. Ta-dum-ba-dum. Let's let this thing boot. English. Yes, continue with the installation. But is it going to? Let's find out. Please erase and format drive C. Yes, yes. There we go. All right, let's go full screen on this. Let's go big. Let's go big. 89%, 95%, 100%. Press a key. Oh, let's press a key. Gathering information to prepare for the installation. US English? Sure, why not? Full installation. Yes, let's do this. Yes, please install. Preparing for the installation. There we go. So this would be actually a full DOS virtual machine running on the system. So this would probably work a lot better than Dosbox in terms of making things work for you. And we are doing that now. Okay, so while this is happening, I didn't realize that a DOS installation would take this long to run, but 26, 27%. Feels like forever, doesn't it? All right, let's go. Let's leave full screen. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to my ISO folder here, where I actually have. So aside from being able to, whoops, that's not what I'm trying to do here. Aside from being able to, let's go back over here. Excuse me. I decided to take a look at a couple of little teeny tiny Linux distributions that we could run, which, you know, just to go back in time a little bit here. Let's go. How are we doing? Installing package. And one of them is something called Nano Linux. And Nano Linux, by the way, if you go over here, I do have the path. I'll include these, by the way, in the... there we go, sourceforge.net/project/Nano Linux. Like I said, I will include these in the show notes so that you can actually track these things down. So I wanted to find out what kind of little teeny tiny distributions I could have. So I went looking for this one, and I've got two of them that we can take a look at. Now I'm going to go and open another tab. Let's see how this is going. How's this going? It's still going. Oh, 97%. We're almost there. We are almost there. Software package installation, transferring system boot files to drive C, installing fresh configuration files. This is so exciting. Yes, reboot now. Okay, so we should be booting up off a FreeDOS system. Install a hard disk, boot from system hard disk. There we go. Load FreeDOS with blah, blah, blah. Expanded memory and share. Yeah, it's going ahead and doing it anyway. There we go. We've installed. We've installed a nice lame Linux distribution, and this one is actually just there we go. DOS installed on the system. So that is another way to run that. And by the way, I actually know people who still run DOS applications, old DOS applications, who I think would be well served by running a Linux desktop as opposed to a Windows desktop. But really, the only reason they're actually running a Windows desktop is so they can run DOS applications. So this would be another way to do it. And frankly, this looks a lot better. There we go, because we can go full screen properly on this. Looks a lot better than just running DOSBox, except that you're actually running a FreeDOS distribution as opposed to just a DOSBox. Okay, so I wanted to show you some little tiny Linux distributions. So let's take a look and do an ls-l on Nano. Nano Linux. Nano Linux is, you got this right, it is 18 megabytes, not 650 megabytes or 4 gig for a DVD. No, this is 18.8. Let's call it 19 megabytes, shall we? Let's call it 19 megabytes, and let's go back over here, and we are going to run this from. So let's go 1280 by 1024. Sure, why not? Let's run this, and you'll notice that I'm actually doing this directly from the command line. I could install this in a virtual machine, like I did over here, using the virtual machine manager, where of course I've got FreeDOS running as well. But I'm just going to run it from the command line. And just so that you can have another look at that, I'm going to go Control Alt, so I can have my mouse back. This is all I did. QEMU-system-x86_64-boot D. So I'm going to boot off the so-called D drive, the CD-ROM, and there's the file for the CD-ROM, okay? So it is Nano Linux 64-1.3. Let's take a look at what you can get for 19 meg, shall we? Let's see what you can get for 19 meg worth of Linux distribution. And I do have another one, which is a classic. I'm going to wait for this to finish installing here. But I have another one, which is kind of a classic, and it's this one, ls-l DSL, aka damn small Linux. Now, damn small Linux is not actually as small as Nano. Nano is tiny, but let's take a look at what you can get. You get a full graphical desktop. Think about this for a second, okay? This is 2018, so, we're used to things that are huge and monstrous and so forth. But this thing is 19 megabytes. And look what this thing comes with. I mean, we've got file viewers, calculators. There's an IRC program. Remember we did the we did IRC. I showed you how to set up an IRC server. But let me see. File, select server. Freenode. Where's Freenode? EFNet. This is wonderful. Oh, chat.au.freenode.net. There we go. Freenode. There we go. Look at this. Look at this. This is fantastic. Okay. This is fantastic. Okay, let's see what else. Let's do. And I'm not even using any acceleration here. You might notice that I didn't actually put any acceleration flags on QEMU in case this is the sort of thing that you typically follow. But let's see. Nick, it's me. It's me. Just me. Let me see. Has changed Nick to it's me, just me. And let's just join Linux Journal, okay? Whoops. INUXJOURNAL. Linux Journal. This is great. This is great. Hello, everyone, from Nano Linux. There we go. Helps if I can talk. There we go. This is fantastic. All right, let's hit the start button and see what else we've got. Let me see. Settings, internet connection. Actually, let's go over here where it says games. Let's see what kind of games we've got on here. Tux Chess, Mastermind, Checkers, Blocks. Oh, let's do Tux Chess. Let's do Tux Chess and start up. This is fantastic. This is fantastic. Okay, so this is just so you know. Oh, Damon I. Good. I see that you're on the Linux Journal channel as well. Is this cool or what? Teeny. Tiny. All right, so Nano Linux, 19 megabytes. Okay, 19 megabytes. We've got a music player on here. We got. This is amazing. I haven't actually taken a look at this. I downloaded it and I thought, hey, we'll check it out on the show here. I set it up to load up. Dillo, I've used Dillo as a little teeny tiny web browser. Let's fire up Dillo. By the way, I'm not going to start a game of chess because I don't want anybody to see me get beaten. Let's see what Linux Journal looks like on http://linuxjournal.com. Does that work on Dillo? Oh, can't do HTTPS on Dillo. All right, so there are obviously limitations, but presumably we can install something else on there. And of course, we can just open up a shell. And there we go, cal. Let's go cal 2018. Let's go for the full calendar. There we go, 2018. Fantastic! A full Linux distribution on just on 19 megabytes. Alt enter. Okay, I'm gonna just. I almost want to just not close that because if I close it. Let me see. Oh, it's let me see. Where is it? Where are you here? I've got how many consoles I've got open here? Oh, there we go. I've got that one there. So I'm gonna go Control Z, and I'm gonna throw that in the background. And let's go with DSL. Yeah, we were gonna do DSL, weren't we? So let's DSL. Damn small. Man, Marcel. All right, here we go. Shall we just do that one like just from the command line? Why don't you do that one from the command line? All right, DSL installs to USB. Boot based on Knoppix. Oh, I do love Knoppix. Press enter to begin. F2 for boot options. Let me see. And let's fire up DSL. Now DSL, as you recall, is huge. It's monstrous. It's massive compared to because it's, a 53 meg as opposed to 19. So it's like a monstrous program. But it just doesn't seem right me saying that. All right, let's move Nano Linux over here, and let's have DSL open over here, shall we? All right, we're waiting for DSL to fire up. Okay, oh, there we go. The desktop is loading up. There we go. Getting started with DSL. Oh, DSL uses Dillo as well for the browser. So I'm sorry, Linux Journal. We're not going to actually be able to surf to you with this one because, these crazy days of HTTPS. So let me see. What else have we got on here? Okay, so we have apps. Let's take a look. Editors, Beaver, Nano. I know what Nano is. Notepad. Graphics, Icon View, MT Paint. Office suites. Look at this. We've got a word processor. Okay, like it's not LibreOffice or anything like that, but we do have a word processor. Let's open up the TED word processor, shall we? Let's find out what this is. Oh my God. Seriously? This is a word processor? New. There we go. It was a dark and stormy night. Suddenly, a shot rang out. All right, or we could make it a political political thriller. Yes, I'm stealing from Snoopy here. It was a dark and actually I'm stealing from Snoopy, who stole it from Bulwer Lytton. So let me see. Night. Suddenly, I promise I'll stop this in a second. A vote rang out. There we go. It's a political thriller now. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. What else we got? We got Vnc Viewer, which means we can connect to other servers on the system. We've got FTP programs. We just did TED there. I'm not view page source. No, I'm not going to do the page source thing. Escape. All right, bookmark this page. I have no idea. Let me see. Our desktops to connect to presumably Windows systems and so forth. Still feed for email. It's pretty cool. It's not bad. I mean, it's not amazing, obviously, compared to modern things, but it is a way to, let me see, root access, transparent shell. There we go. Okay, this is cool. I like it. Cal 2018. Let's do the same thing here. There we go. Damn small Linux DSL, and of course we could install that too. It is possible to install this directly, but it's so tiny and so small that it actually doesn't matter. We can actually run it directly from the command line, like I did Nano Linux. But what do you think? Let's go Control Alt to switch between the two. There's Nano Linux, and there's DSL. DSL, of course, being like 4 times the size of Nano Linux. What do you think? I have to admit, I'm pretty impressed. I am really pretty impressed with Nano Linux, given given what they've managed to pack into that space. That is really kind of wild. All right. Let's move on, shall we? Control Alt. So little teeny tiny Linux distributions, and how we can run DOS inside a window. And what did I did want to show you something else here. So there we go. So if you want to go to Dosbox, you can get it off. There are lots of different ways. You may actually be able to download it directly in your distribution. And then, of course, free DOS to download. And like I said, if you actually want to try playing with DOS, okay, and I'm not, I can't tell you whether these are all legitimately abandoned games, as in whether they're all in the either in the public domain or Creative Commons or something like that. But if you want to do a little bit of exploring to try to figure it out, there's Abandonware. And that one is myabandonware.com is one of the places where you can try finding some of these things or looking for, and they have like tons of things. And despite the fact that the browser was complaining for me, we can browse by, let's go by platform here, and you'll see that there are lots of different platforms. I was using DOS on purpose, but you can find Commodore games, Game Boy games, all sorts of things, Nintendo Entertainment Systems. Oh, Linux, popular Linux games. We can actually find just plain old Linux games if we want to. Plain old. I apologize for that. Yes, I do apologize for that. Let's see, the smallest Linux distribution. There used to be one even teeny tinier, but I did want to show you one other one. Let me see if I still, no, that's not it. Did I close that? Did I close that? I had a, oh yeah, there it is. I had something else which I thought was kind of cool, which was this. And so there are a couple of sites, and I'm going to go back to this one over here, where there are Linux distributions. If you just wanted someone to play with, it almost seems ridiculous to do this given the fact that you can actually run a teeny tiny one in your machine. But there are actually a couple of sites like ballard.org here and this one here, which basically have recreated Linux, not distributions, but command line Linux, basically in JavaScript. The whole thing runs inside JavaScript. So those are a couple more that I will toss in the command line. And I'm going to wrap it up basically close to here. If there is a teeny tiny distribution, I mean, there are tons of them. We can say tiny Linux distributions. Let's actually do that just for fun here. Let's see what else somebody might recommend. Tiny Linux distributions. Let me see if we can find another one here just for fun before we're done. Let's see how quickly we can find one. What? Damn Small Linux. We did that one. The 10 lightweight one. No, I went really Tiny Core Linux. That sounds tiny. Let's take a look at that one. Tiny Core Linux from Tiny Core. Let's see how Tiny Core. How small is Tiny Core? 12 megabytes. 12 megabytes. Let's do this, okay? Let's do this. I can't. Let's do this before we leave, okay? Shall we do that? Let's go here. Let's download this little teeny 12 megabytes. I have to see what you can get for 12 megabytes. tinycore.net. Let's go there. And Tiny Core Linux. Where's the downloads? Downloads. Tiny Core. This is great. 11 megabytes. Oh, Core Plus. No. We have to go for the command line only. Oh, 16 megabytes. All right. Let me see. Plus X GUI extensions. Let's go for the GUI. Okay, so that's 16 megabytes if we go for the GUI. So I'm going to say save. And let me see, how long will it take you to do that for me? It's got to be done now, right? Right? Okay, that's got to be done now. Okay, so let's go back to our window over here, and let's see if we can find our console. How many consoles have I got open here? I'm going to go Control Z. I'm going to put this one in the background as well. And I'm going to go MV downloads. MV space tilde downloads. Let's see. We've got one more here. We have to try out this one more. Star.iso dot. All right. Where is it? We got Nano Linux. Wait, isn't that finished loading yet? Isn't it finished downloading yet? That's crazy. It's got to be done, right? Tiny Core, downloads, Tiny Core. Are you not done yet? Let's go right click, copy link. Ta-da! wget. Let's do it that way. TinyCore. There we go. Current.iso. TinyCore. All right, 3%. This shouldn't take long. It's not very big. It's 12. Did we say 12? We said 16, didn't we? 16, which would still make it smaller than Nano Linux. So let's do that one then. And we're going to go TinyCore. So we're doing one more. We're going to see how tiny we can get here. Boot TinyCore on slow devices. Slow devices. Oh, that's hilarious. Let's see here. Scanning hard disk partitions to create. We're not doing that. Loading extensions. Loading extensions. This should be a lot faster. I should have done the -kvm to do the acceleration on here, but it seems crazy to run an accelerated system on here, given how fast this goes. Now, acceleration, I believe it's the -kvm flag. -kvm flag. Actually, let's do that. Is it -kvm? Actually, let's just do it. Let's go with -kvm and see if I've got it right. Okay, let's find out if that's right. -kvm. No, it's not -kvm. What is it? QEMU dash whatever. Oops. '86_64. Sorry, I was just thinking out loud here. Acceleration ACCEL. Dash accelerator. This to enable an accelerator depending on the target architecture. Accelerator equals KVM. Is that what it is? Dash Excel equals KVM. I haven't actually had to do that in a while. Dash Excel equals KVM. There's got to be a better way to do it. Machine type. Blah blah. Excel space KVM. Is that what it is? If somebody let me see. ACCEL KVM. Nope. Oh, that's because I would have to do that as root, wouldn't I? Aha. Or I'd have to do it inside a virtual machine. All right, I'm going to go back to what I was doing before, because apparently I do not have permissions to do that directly on here. So let's go back to TinyCore. We're going to let this thing boot, and we'll see. I could have just waited. Oops. There we go. Boot core, booting the kernel. Let's go over to our virtual machine manager here just for fun, and go virtual machine manager. I'm going to shut. I won't even shut it down. Let's see how many things we can actually run on here, and still have it resembling sane. ISOs, TinyCore. Where is TinyCore? Where's TinyCore? It's here somewhere. How come I don't see it? How come I don't see TinyCore? How come I do not see TinyCore? Am I just blind here? I see the system rescue CD here, but that's not exactly the same. Cancel. All right, let's actually force shutdown on this here. Apparently, I'm stretching 12 megabyte. Yes, small, but to get the full experience, it's downloading 300 baud modem speeds. Yeah, funny guy. Okay, loading extensions. Come on. This is all right. Listen, while we're waiting for that to happen, I'm gonna oh, there we go. See, it's you're toying with me here. You're toying with me. TinyCore Linux. I was going to walk off and do something else, but I can't now because it looks like it's actually starting up. Core is distributed with absolutely no warranty. Get that straight. No warranty. Isn't that true of like every Linux distribution out there? Oh, there we go. Okay, TinyCore. Yes. It has begun. Ooh, cool. Check that out. Check that out. The Apple style. Isn't that kind of an Apple style sort of thing? First run. Would you like to pick the fastest mirror? No, I don't want to do that. Apps, regular application, so we can download other things. Control panel. Trying to see. Oh, this is very X. Let's open up a terminal. Does that have like, no, does that have any kind of browser? Does it have anything like that? Let me just move these windows around. So this is actually quite a bit taller, but utilities, maintenance, utilities, setup. I don't see anything particularly exciting built into this. Not that I expect anything really exciting, but let me see. Editor, what are we doing? Just your basic editor. So I'm gonna just close that down. Let me see. Apps. Apps isn't anything. Run program. That's like your Alt F2 mount tool. There isn't a lot here. Okay, so it might be a tiny bit smaller than. Let me see. It's obviously smaller than Nano Linux, but Nano Linux has more things in it. Apps. What apps? Cloud, remote, local, app locally, load app locally, maintenance, installation option, cloud, remote, browse. Let's see. Nah. It's just not the same. It's not the same experience that we get in Nano Linux. Okay, so far, believe it or not, in our search for a little teeny tiny Linux distribution, I think I have to give it to Nano Linux. Okay, let's have your vote. What do you think? Nano Linux? Nano Linux, I think, is the winner. It is the clear winner in my mind. It's the clear winner. It's the prettiest one. It has obviously some limitations because I'm stuck with running something like Dillo, which doesn't actually allow me to access everything else. But what's FI Radio? Oh, check it out. Oh, isn't that cool? Look at that. And 10 buy-in. Shall we see if that works? Oh. All right, I'm not hearing it through here at the moment, but that's fine. Anyway, so that's it. We're going with Nano. Nano's the clear winner in my books. That's the one that we're going to run today. We've got DSL, we've got Nano, and we tried Tiny Core Linux, but Nano's the winner. And that's where I'm going to leave it for today. So I'm going to do a Control-Alt. I'm going to swap out over here for a second, and I want to say thank you to Linux Journal again for making this possible. And remember, subscribe, become a patron. And while you're at it, you can become a patron of me as well. But or you can go over on YouTube and you can click the subscribe button. Marcel Gagne. I don't just do the Cooking with Linux on Tuesdays. I play games. I do other Linux videos. I do all sorts of, crazy, interesting things. All sorts of stuff. I've got kind of what you call an esoteric channel. Or you can go to cookingwithlinux.com, which is where I occasionally keep things up to date. But these days, it's actually probably better just to go to my YouTube channel. And if you want to support the work that I do, you can go to patreon.com/Marcel Gagne. And you can become one of my patrons and support my habit, as I like to put it. There we go. You can support my habit. Anyway, that's it. That's where I'm going to leave it for today. Where are we? Okay, there we go. We're back to here. That's where I'm going to leave it for today. I'm going to bring back OBS Studio. I'm going to show my face in there, and I'm going to toast everybody out there. Thank you so much for being here with me. I do appreciate it. Here's to you. À votre santé et bon appétit. And I'll see you next time. Oh, and if you have requests, let me know. What would you like me to, play with? Take out for a spin, and otherwise abuse, mutilate, and show how easily it breaks on a live show. Let me know, okay? And we'll try to do that. Take care out there, and thank you. Bye.